Let's do this, homie.
Hey, how you
So
doing,
are
man?
you yes, preacher?
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, good. So are you preaching the Bible or are you preaching atheism?
I don't preach atheism. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, yeah. You tell us that God does not exist.
Well, I don't say
You know,
that.
you
That's not
tell
my
us that
position.
morality is
So,
subjective, even though even though it's objective, you don't believe in evil and good. You don't have any belief of anything.
okay,
You
I
believe
don't preach atheism. I already told you. So,
okay. So you're a Christian
so
preacher then.
are you a
Are
Christian? Are
you
you a
preaching
Bible
the Bible
believer?
to us, or
Are
are
you a
you teaching
Christian?
us
Are
the
you a Bible
Bible?
believer?
Yes, thank God I am. Now
Okay.
I'm
How
asking you
long
a
have you been
question.
a Bible
Are you
believer for?
for my whole entire life?
Okay,
So now
awesome.
I'm
Do
asking you a
you
question. Can I ask you a question?
hold on? I'm almost done. Do you subscribe to
Yeah,
any
yeah. Go ahead.
specific denomination, or are you like a non-denominational
Catholic, the
Christian?
real denomination, Catholic.
Catholic? Okay, all right, I got you.
Yeah.
And what do you think of the topic, David, a man after God's own heart?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you
So
think that
I have
when
a
it's
question for you, though.
do
Hold
you
on,
think
hold
that
on. I have a
David was a
question for
man
you.
after God's own
Yeah, yeah,
heart,
hold on. I have a
as
question for
stated
you,
in
dude.
Acts
Yeah,
thirteen
hold on.
twenty two?
Relax, my dude. Relax, relax, relax. Are you preaching to me the Bible? Is this what you're doing over here?
Yeah,
Are you trying to
I
teach me the
definitely
Bible?
preach the Bible more than I preach atheism or
Yeah, yeah. So
whatever
are
the
you
fuck that
teaching
means.
me about the Bible or no?
It depends if you know this stuff or not. Do you know this stuff?
Yeah, yeah. Are you preaching to me the Bible or are you like trying to teach me something? Like I don't
It
know
depends.
what your
Do
life
you
is
know
about.
this
Like, are you
stuff
trying to
yet
teach me
or
something about the
not?
Bible?
It
What
depends.
are you
Do you
trying
know
to
this
teach me?
stuff yet
Teach
or
me
not?
something. Go ahead. Teach me something. Go ahead.
Okay. So, what do you think of the topic?
I don't know nothing about your topic. What's your topic about? What is it?
Can you not read?
Yeah, I could read, but I
Okay,
don't know
so
what you
David, a
like.
man after God's
Make
own
your
heart,
make
and what
your
does that say
make your
about
premise and
God?
tell
So,
what's your premise.
so
Make your
let's
premise
look
and
at
tell me.
David. Hold on, stop interrupting me. Let's look at David.
I'm
David,
not
a man
interrupting you. I'm asking
who,
you a question. You're
and are you going to
interrupting me
let
when I'm
me
asking
answer
you
it?
a question.
Are you going to let me answer it, or are you going to keep
I
cutting me
didn't even
off?
ask you a question.
You literally just did several times, and I'm trying to
What did I
answer it.
ask you? What was my question?
Yeah, you're asking me what this is all about, so I'm asking. So I'm
No, no, no.
answering you
I
what this is
asked you.
all
Give me.
about.
No, no.
So
I told you to give me your premise.
I'm trying to explain to you what my background is.
I don't care about your, but just give me your premise.
No, I'm sorry, sir. You either care about what I posted or you don't. Do you care to have
I
this
don't care
conversation
about
or
what you
not?
posted. I don't listen to atheists, to
Do
be
you
honest
care
with
to
you.
have this conversation or not?
I just want to hear your nonsense about what you think.
Okay, perfect. So don't worry. You don't have to
Tell
mute
me
him.
about your
Don't worry.
nonsense.
You don't have to mute him.
Go
So
ahead.
David, a
Tell
man
me
after
about your
God's own
nonsense.
heart. We see that in Acts 13:22. David is a man after God's own heart. And this is Paul explaining basically how Jesus comes from David. And we see that in 1 Kings 15:5 that David did what was right in the eyes of God except for the matter of Uriah the Hittite. Do you agree with this?
Can you make your premise or no?
Do you agree with this?
Sir, can you make your premise? Tell me
My
your
premise
premise.
for what?
What are you trying to get? Give me your premise
I'm sorry, my premise for what?
for your whatever you have over here. Like, what's your premise?
Okay, so you don't even know what I have, but you're asking me for something. Please, calm down.
Sir, can you
Sir,
give me your
I'm
premise?
explaining
What
to you
is
why
what are
I'm
you
having this
telling me about?
conversation. Are you
Just
ready
tell me
to
what you
engage
have
or
to
not?
say.
Sir, are you
Don't
ready
ask me
to
a
engage
question.
or
Just
not?
tell me what you have to tell. Tell me what you have to say.
Okay, you're a waste of my time. Sorry. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Doing alright. I was just gonna tell the guy to. I think he needs to calm his tits, bro.
Honestly,
Um,
right?
if he doesn't know how to have a conversation, he probably shouldn't be talking to people.
Yeah, I think I've made it very clear what I'm here to talk about, and if he's trying to get me to talk about something else, well, then, he can go somewhere else and talk about that, right?
If he's still here and wants to try one more time, maybe he can try to be civil.
Well, we don't have him, but we do have this guy, Cody. Let's see if Cody is a Christian and wants to talk. Or Cozy. Hey, Cozy, are you a Christian?
Yeah,
Awesome. How long have you been a Christian for?
I'd probably say since like 2021,
All right,
like
perfect. Perfect.
2021,
Do you have a certain denomination you subscribe to, or are you just non-denominational?
non-denomination.
Okay, all right, I got you. And what do you think about the character of David in the Bible? Do you truly think that he's a man after God's own heart? Do you think that he did everything right except for the matter of Uriah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know about him, like you mentioned, how he made the one mistake where I don't want to call him a mistake. He got punished for it regardless, but lusting after
For
someone's
what?
wife and setting them up to get, un get him wiped off. That was wrong. He was wrong for that.
Well, I'm not quite sure
But
how he got punished because God forgave him, but punished his infant son by making him sick and suffering for 7 days until he finally died, and then making sure his wives got publicly raped. So I don't know how this does anything for David, but it certainly it killed his infant son and got his wives raped. I don't understand how
yeah.
that is in any way just or good. Do you?
So obviously when the prophet of God went to him and told, like, he brought up that situation, hey, what if someone did this? Then David was like, that person should be, I don't want to say words that are going to get you banned, but that person should
Deleted,
be
right?
taken out of here,
They should be deleted.
right? Yeah, it should be deleted, right?
Gotcha.
And then
Yeah.
the prophet was like, well, that's you. That's you. You're that guy. So he apologized, and the prophet told him, like, hey, you're going to have a lot of your offspring, they're going to die. The temple, you got to think, David's whole personality and who he was he really loved God. He wanted to obey God, do everything to glorify God. So because of the mistake that he made, there was a lot of inner turmoil. His son, Absalom, was trying to unalive him. He loved his son. He didn't want his son to be deleted, but his son had to get deleted. He couldn't build the temple, which is something that he really wanted to do for God. He was not able to do that because all of the blood that was on his hands. So he got punished in ways like that, but he just accepted that because he was wrong for that. And if
Sure.
you take somebody's kid away from them, that hurts regardless. But
So,
is that
so
kid
it was
but
justified
what you
to kill the child because it hurt
yeah,
David?
the kid's gonna go to heaven. You're focused too much on the physical part.
Was it
That kid didn't do
justified
anything
to
wrong.
rape the women because it would hurt David?
Well, if they're going to go to heaven, what is their life on the earth really? What does it matter?
Do you
I feel
know
like
that?
you're just
Do you know
focused
that
too
the
much on
women went to
physical.
heaven?
Yeah, did they do something that went against God that explicitly said, "Hey, God"?
Well,
cursed
according
them
to the
in-
Bible, all
in that
have
way?
sinned and fallen short. So that includes these women. So
That's
does these women
that's
getting
true. Then
raped?
if that's the case, then nobody goes
Does
to
these
heaven.
women getting raped justify what David did and
Who got
therefore
raped again?
mean
Could
okay?
could you clarify that? Who got raped again?
The David's wives.
His wives.
Cozy, do you think that this might be a dangerous mentality?
What's a dangerous mentality?
The idea that the children being murdered and the wives being R-worded, it's not that big of a deal because they go to heaven.
I'm not ever saying that someone getting raped is okay or good. God gave people free will. Some people they with that free will
So
they choose to do
so
it.
then, do you think it's good when
That's
God
wrong.
curses
Hold on.
someone
How are
to
y'all
get
gonna ask me
raped?
questions but never let me finish a thought though?
No, I think you said something very important, actually, which is why I want to clarify. Do you think that it's good or just when God curses someone to get raped?
Show me the verse that he cursed that person to get raped.
Yeah, sure. So let's go to 2 Samuel in or chapter 12, starting in verse 7, which is what you were talking about
Okay.
with the prophet rebuking David. So Nathan replied to
Yeah.
David, "You are that man. This is what the Lord God of Israel says. I anointed you king over Israel, and I rescued you from Saul. I gave your masters to you, and your masters' wives into your arms. I gave you the house of Israel, Judah, and if that was not enough, I have given you even more. Why have you despised the Lord's command by doing what I consider evil? You have struck down Uriah the Hittite with a sword and have taken his wife as your own. You've murdered him with the Ammonites' sword. Now, therefore, the sword will never leave your house because you have despised me and taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite as your own. This is what the Lord says. I am going to bring disaster on you from your own family. I will take your wives and give them to another before your very eyes, and he will sleep with them in broad daylight, as you acted in secret, but I will do this before Israel in broad daylight. And David responded to Nathan, I have sinned against you, or I have sinned against the Lord. And Nathan replied to David, the Lord has taken away your sin. You will not die. However, because you treated the Lord with such contempt in this matter, the son born to you will die. And then we see later that the son is struck with a sickness, and this infant suffers for 7 days before he finally dies. So
Yep.
David is forgiven of his sins, but someone has to pay. So his infant son is going to suffer for 7 days before he dies, and his wives are going to get publicly raped. Explain to me.
So quick question,
God,
'cause
and God is
you're
very.
saying-
Hold on, I have one more sentence. And God is making it very clear that He is causing this to happen. So explain to me how this
So
is
go to
good
the
and
verse
just.
where Absalom. Go to the verse where you say that Absalom grapes, because you're speaking about when Absalom took David's concubines and had sex with them on the rooftop. It's not specified that he raped them.
What do you think is happening when Absalom takes his father's
Go
women
read it, because
and
what
takes
Absalom
them
does
on the
is he goes
rooftop?
and he makes himself
He is
king.
publicly
You're
raping
just
them.
misconstruing the Bible and you hate God. You got to change that and fix that, buddy.
I don't
Bye.
believe in God, so no, I don't hate God.